but it's Oahu that's being battered tonight with thunder, lightning, heavy downpours, and flooding. This video was shot in Liliha, where cars are literally underwater on the H1 freeway. Our cameraman recorded a Dodge Charger with rainwater covering its windows. The freeway westbound in this area is shut down. It's not only the freeway scene flooding, many side streets are impassable at this hour. Police are doing their best to direct traffic, but you're asked to try to stay off the roadways. Now, we also want to show you new video of manholes overflowing because of all of the rain. The storm drains are being inundated with water. This is in Chinatown, and there have been other areas in the Nimitz area as well. The fire department, police, all the emergency services are very busy tonight, and if possible, stay off the roadways, stay away from streams. A lot of those are reaching their banks. They're more like rivers now. There is a brown water advisory in effect.
A wildfire that broke out in Los Angeles County has gained strength and grown to over 30,000 acres, according to the Los Angeles Times. Now, at least 18 homes have been destroyed and one person has died near Santa Clarita, California. Look how thick that smoke is. Well, the planes that were trying to drop the fire retardant, they couldn't. They actually had to be grounded because that smoke was so thick for a period of time. Thousands of homes were evacuated and more than 1,600 firefighters were deployed to fight the flames. Further north in California, Monterey County officials have issued evacuations on another wildfire that is threatening over 1,500 homes, and it's burned about 11,000 acres.
Fire activity out on the Sand Fire is extreme. Conditions are extremely hot, conditions are dry. In these conditions, it makes it very difficult for our firefighters to suppress these fires.
Within 45 minutes, it traveled that 10 miles and was right in our backyard. 100 feet tall, I mean, full tornado of fire, spinning, nothing like I've ever seen close up.
The fire is rapidly growing and has very, very rapid growth when it comes to the fuels being so dry and the fire consuming so much vegetation so quickly.
Very afraid, because if it comes over that hill into the canyons like this, it's a done deal. Eucalyptus trees, all that, they burn like, you know, nothing you've ever seen.
We have a total of 1,700 structures being threatened, and these numbers are as of 6 o'clock this morning, with a total of 1,500 civilians evacuated.
He beat the odds. This 15-year-old not only surviving a lightning strike on Sand Key, but also making nearly a full recovery in just a matter of days. And tonight, for the first time, he's talking to ABC Action News reporter Serena Faison and revealing what he was doing that may have kept him from noticing the danger around him.
Cameron Poimboff and his mom just got back home to North Carolina, leaving Tampa General late Sunday.
I'm still a little bit dizzy, but it's a lot better.
The 15-year-old teen spent nearly a week in the ICU.
Yeah, it said I've been hit by lightning in the back or something.
And then, through the leg, the force so strong he was unresponsive for 3 days before finally waking, surrounded by family.
I tried to figure out if I was like hurting or anything, and my whole body was pretty much numb.
He couldn't move and couldn't remember what happened just days before. What he does remember is that he and his friend, Jansen Tabor, were playing Pokemon Go on Sand Key Beach. He was engrossed in this video game phenomenon when all of a sudden...
It was just really dark, and I was on my phone, and then everything kind of just went black.
Jansen also took a direct hit to the leg, but Cameron got the worst of it. His heart stopped. His mother telling us 3 Good Samaritans, including a nurse, and then EMS crews worked on her son for half an hour.
I can't believe that he's able to walk and talk.
That's because her son's initial prognosis was not good. Doctors revealing dismal stats that many lightning victims suffer lifelong neurological damage. But her son had not only quick timing from the Good Samaritans on his side.
It was the level of excellent CPR that he got that has made the difference.
Cameron says he's about 70%, but getting better. Doctors are still looking at long-term cognitive functions, eye issues, and nerve damage. But this teen is ready to get back to school and the football field with quite a story to tell.
As the floodwaters approached, Zhang Erchang thought he and his family would be safe on their car rooftop. But the vehicle was quickly flipped over. He grabbed his daughter's hand, his wife and their sons, but the torrent was too strong for a child's grip. In a country that mostly allows one child, they lost two.
The image of my children struggling in the water, you can't imagine how horrible it was. I can't help thinking if someone could have given us a warning to evacuate just 10 minutes earlier and we could have run away.
They found the daughter's body on Thursday, the son's 2 days ago.
The government did not give us any help. We were searching 40 kilometers away from here for our children.
Her husband's T-shirt reads like a curse. He doesn't know what it means. In the village of Dashan, normality has been turned upside down. The worst floods in 20 years have devastated much of this part of Hebei province in northern China. It's hard to find a home or a business left untouched. The waters have receded, but all that mud is now turning to dust. Last week, they were sheltering from the rain. Today, it's the fierce sun. This woman wants to show us how high the floodwaters rose, almost 3 meters. She ran a successful timber business and says her losses are approaching almost $800,000. So much of this tiny village has been pulverized, and everyone we've spoken to here has told us the same thing. They received no orders to evacuate, even minutes before their homes were consumed by the floodwaters.
If we had got an early warning, at least we could have moved some valuable things and our children away before the water arrived.
Her children and father were trapped in this room, the water up to their necks. On a grimy window, her daughter wrote what she thought was a final note. In Chinese, it means, "We all die together." But they were lucky. 5 days after this disaster, the army arrived on Monday to take charge of the cleanup operation. For many, though, it's too soon to think about rebuilding.
Next tonight, the security breach at Dallas-Fort Worth Airport we're just learning about. Newly released video raising more criticism about the TSA. A man with no ticket bypassing security and boarding the plane. Here's ABC's Gloria Riviera tonight.
It is shocking for just how easy it looks. Newly released surveillance video shows the man, no luggage, no ticket, at Dallas-Fort Worth Airport. He simply jogs through a closed, unmanned checkpoint, breezing past a TSA agent looking at his phone.
It is serious. There are multiple violations going on.
25-year-old Demarius Cochran made it all the way onto a plane bound for Guatemala. Finally, a gate agent pulling him off the plane, escorting him to police.
It could have something that he could inflict deadly force on another person.
TSA has been under fire for other security lapses. An internal test found that undercover agents were able to sneak fake weapons and explosives past the TSA in 67 out of 70 attempts. Cochran was unarmed but charged with criminal trespassing in last summer's incident. In a statement, the TSA says they have made adjustments to checkpoints at DFW, adding glass panel barriers and other enhancements to physical security.
Barbaric torture, that's how the Polk County Sheriff described the kind of discipline at least 7 Lakeland children received. The method of choice, a stun gun, after the kids could not finish their push-ups. ABC Action News reporter Ryan Raish explains what tipped off police.
Tonight, the unthinkable.
Breaks my heart.
Neighbors just wish they would have known. They wish they could have stopped it.
They ought to be put away and never let out.
Investigators say inside this rundown Lakeland home, at least 7 kids between the ages of 7 and 12 suffered relentless torture from a stun gun similar to this one.
So for anyone that's not seen evil in the flesh, there they are.
The sheriff says William Torres and Eduardo Vesquez, who live at their home with their girlfriends and the kids, repeatedly handed out the discipline. The stun gun typically came after the kids failed to finish their push-ups.
They were stunning them over and over and over for no reason.
By their count, investigators believe the men zapped the kids at least 36 times on the butt and the legs. The stun gun harsh enough to leave bruises and even burn marks. At one point, and despite orders not to, the 11-year-old boy finally ran away to a neighbor to get help.
Inexcusable. Turn them tasers back on them. Punish them till God can't punish them anymore.
To make matters worse, deputies say the two women in the house knew the men were using the stun gun on the children and did nothing to stop it. Their excuse may blow your mind.
You didn't report it because you didn't want children taken away, or you didn't want to lose a boyfriend? Are you kidding me?
The kids are now in protective custody and healing from their emotional and physical wounds. The men and women not going anywhere anytime soon. The men held on $500,000 bonds.
People across this country have expressed concern over recent violence across this country and also abroad. But one Loris business owner's response offended some veterans. News 13's Janae Lewis joins us right now to explain why. Janae?
Bob, a News 13 viewer sent the picture that you see in the monitor behind me. It's of the American flag flying upside down at a Loris diner. Today I spoke to the owner who says it's been that way for the last 3 weeks. He made the decision to take it down this week, though, after a complaint, but he says the message behind it remains. Each day, people around the United States pledge allegiance to this flag. So when someone saw it flying upside down at a Loris restaurant, it raised questions.
In the U.S. code, the flag code, it says that the Union should never be displayed down unless you feel that there is dire distress. And I believe that our country is in dire distress right now with everything going on.
Ernie Ross is the owner of Ernie's Hometown Diner. He says he made the decision to turn the flag upside down after what's happened in places like Dallas, Louisiana, France, and even here in Horry County.
There's people dying left and right for no reason whatsoever. None. It's senseless. It's pointless. Young kids are dying. Like in France.
But not everyone supported his decision. Some veterans were offended to see the flag that way, so Ross quickly removed it.
Like my wife said, we're not here to hurt anybody. We changed it. We took the flag down, we flew the Christian flag. So when people go by now and see the Christian flag flying, all we're asking them to do is to take 5-10 minutes and pray for our country, pray for our servicemen, pray for our police officers, pray for our firefighters, people that's there to protect me, you, and everyone around us.
A message of love, Ross says, is needed for any change to happen.
Let's get back on track. Let's think of our neighbor. Let's love each other again. Quit the hating. The hating has to stop. There's no hope. There's no future if there's hate.
Mr. Ross says as long as there aren't any complaints, he will fly the Christian flag indefinitely, and he will still encourage people to pray for our nation.
For the third time in 7 days, violence strikes the state of Bavaria. A fatal explosion in Ansbach. The city's mayor says it was no accident, as had first been thought. Instead, it was caused by a device.
According to the current investigation, the man who was killed was a 27-year-old Syrian who came to Germany 2 years ago and sought asylum. That application was rejected a year ago.
It happened outside a wine bar, close to where around 2,000 people were attending an open-air music festival.
People were definitely panicking. We heard it had been a gas explosion, but people came past and said it was a rucksack that exploded, that someone blew themselves up. It is very disturbing when you know that such a thing can happen so close to you.
We heard the big bang. We were all stunned. Then people ran towards us who were in the cafe, and they called the festival security, and they called the emergency services.
Officials confirm that an individual had been carrying the device when it exploded. The old town area of Ansbach was closed off, and the concert was evacuated. Germany is still reeling after an 18-year-old gunman killed 9 people in the centre of Munich on Friday. Just days before, a 17-year-old refugee attacked several tourists on a train with an axe and a knife, again in the state of Bavaria.
Security in Germany has already been tightened, but this incident in Ansbach perhaps demonstrates quite how difficult it is for the authorities to deal with an individual who is determined and alone. Dominic Kane, Al Jazeera, Berlin.
Ja, gut.
Elsewhere, American protesters in Philadelphia have braved the hot weather to stage a massive rally ahead of the Democratic National Convention. Well, among the demonstrators were thousands of clean energy activists, as well as supporters of primary presidential hopeful Bernie Sanders. Protesters voiced support for Sanders and disdain for Hillary Clinton, who is expected to be picked as the Democratic Party's official nominee for president.